How are we doing today? Okay, so we're gonna try this streaming thing again. We tried it yesterday. Things went very bad. We changed some settings. Hopefully everything will be fine now. I think it'll be reasonably good. So, what are we working on today? Let's have a look. So I saw something I don't like seeing. So I've got this thing, this PR I've been working on for like I don't know weeks, um, and it's like it's been approved. Like it's all looking really good. Um, And like, yeah, like Robert's like, yes, this is perfect. This is awesome. And then I see the dreaded, my build failed, which doesn't make me happy. So let's pop that open and actually have a look and see what's going there. Because I saw the thing that I don't like seeing, which is that there's a panic in my tests. So we use Cloud Build for our CI system. It does a really nice job. And there's a bunch of stuff that actually went wrong, though I'm going to deal with one problem at a time. As we scroll way down, lots and lots of tests through lots and lots of different languages. Here we go. This is the one. So, running the Go tests here. We get a bunch of output, blah, 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 blah. 6F. Right? That's not good. Segmentation violation. Like that's not good. So what I want to do is actually see what's going on here, what test is failing, um, and why, and see if we can work out what on earth is happening and why. Maybe we can because I haven't seen this one before, and I definitely put in some new code in this area. So I'm sort of wondering, I'm like, what did I do wrong here, or did I mess something up? Because I've also run these tests before and they've passed, so it makes me think it's a little bit like a race condition or something like that. So we'll have a look. All right, so here we go. Let's. Okay, so first question is what. All right, so that's the file. Package SDK server.go line 26, 236. It looks like. Okay, so let's pop over to here. I'm on the right branch. Beautiful. Let's have a look. All right, see if we can find where that is. Ah, interesting. Okay. So this here is what are we actually inside? We're doing a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this is run for the SDK server. So this is inside of Agones. This is a sidecar process that runs, and this is it basically. And it's failing inside here. Okay, so what test is failing? What's the actual test and where does it? Here we go. Test sidecar run. All right, package server, SDK server test, line 84. All right, so we'll run. Okay. Ooh, fascinating. Okay, okay, interesting. Do we know if there's a particular version of this that it's running with, or? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just run this. Right, see if it passes for us. If it's going to consistently fail for us, that would be good to know. Let's just see how that goes. Okay. Of course, it's going to pass. You realize it is going to pass because that's just the law of averages. Right? Like that kind of stuff. Okay, that's fair enough. Just for funsies, and of course, my phone just thinks that I'm talking to it because that's what phones do. All right. So let's have a look. See here. All right, and so that looks okay. My Twitch stream window has just died because reasons. But let's see here. And my downstream is dead again. I thought I had this fixed. Yep, and we're back. Okay, cool. We're just going to keep running through, and hopefully it's going to be fine. Alright, I ran for about 10 minutes yesterday, and it was not a problem. Alright, we're just going to keep running. up some more tooling up here so I can see what's going on a little bit more. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, everything seems to be okay. All right, well, let's just keep running and we'll see how we go. It seems like everything's fine. So, all right, so let's see if we can work out what's going on with everything here. So, all right, so it failed. All right, so it failed at the run command and 236 SDK server. So let's have a look at that. So this is new code, so I actually really want to make sure this is right. Features enabled. Okay, so this is here. And what's the actual... Okay, package, SDK server, run, 236. Feature enabled, feature tracking, locked. GS player capacity equals GS status players capacity. Which makes me think there's nothing in players. We may want to put a check in there. Where does GS come from? Players could be nil. That is actually completely valid. And we should probably check for that. So if I look through, okay, so I just want to look at this test. So where are we? Test kind of run, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, I think there's possibly two things going here. So first of all, list game servers, yes. Status is a status, yeah, which could be nil, so that's reasonable. Apply defaults, yada yada yada. How's this even passing, actually? Then we create a new SDK server. Yada yada yada. Okay, and so here, when we populate the player capacity, update mutex, GS equals status players capacity, but players can be nil, because players is a pointer. How did this pass? Genuinely don't know. The other thing actually I just saw in here that I really want to do since I'm in here. It's this stuff. No, it wasn't in there, it was here. Yeah. That's become our sort of standard for how we define that something's an alpha feature and that we want it to be feature flag. So that's cool. Actually, did I? Nope, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. And that makes it just easy to find that stuff. All right. Player status can be nil, so we should definitely check that. The thing that freaks me out a little, what is it, 260 something? Find that again. The thing that freaks me out is like, how did that ever pass? Oh, you know what it might be, actually? Let me have a look here. So if I look at apply defaults, apply status defaults, if feature enabled, then we do set the value. Okay. So it does exist. I still think we need to check in there. That still freaks me out a little. It makes me wonder how that even failed, though. Where was I in my tests? Where was I? Amazingly, my Twitch stream is now seemingly stable, and I don't know if it's because I've got a network monitor up. I feel like it's like that thing where like if you stare at it, then it definitely works fine, which is kind of hilarious. But cool, as long as it's working, I don't care. I think I might just keep the. I have a GNOME system monitor, up that shows me my network bandwidth going and everything. So I might just keep that running as like a thing. I might put that on my streaming checklist. Anyway, I digress. 184. Okay, so it's there, which is. So what actually? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so label unhealthy, shutdown, ready, yada yada yada. Sidecar run. I wonder if somehow. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Yeah, and it's also a really good reason we should actually test this. I know what it is. So it's entire like so. I have. I wonder if I can find the lock. If I can find an example. Feature test mutex. Okay, so I have when I run tests that have to have specific feature flags enabled. Then I usually run that in a locked environment because this is a feature flags are global, and that's a real pain in the butt. And excuse me. And so I don't want it to be such that if there's a feature flag that's running through, that somebody else could change it underneath these particular tests. However, there are tests that are just assuming that they're in the default environment. And so what I expect is what actually happened is as applied default was being applied, that wasn't the feature flag wasn't enabled. But then as we came into run because of another test, this feature flag was enabled, which is not good. But that being said, they're really and I kind of did leave it that way deliberately, just because I wanted to find weird issues that may crop up with feature flags, and like if like things came in different orders or like things got flaky for that reason. So I'm actually kind of happy this happened so that I can actually see what's going on here, and I'm actually quite happy about this. So I am gonna put a check in here, if gs.status. Because in theory, it should always be populated, but sometimes it may not. And so, where'd my mouse go? There it is. Okay. Sometimes it may not. So this is good to see. This makes me happy. Okay. Status dot players does not equal nil. Oops, I can't type. Right, let's put some defensive stuff in there so that that always works. I think that looks pretty good. What was the test? This was the test that failed. And what test was failing? Test sidecar run. Thank you. All right, let's run that. That's compiling. Do. So on its own, it should be fine. Like this shouldn't break this. I would expect that to be completely and utterly fine. What I am interested in though is here we go. Let's see if there's any tests for feature player tracking. Yeah, see like that one. Perfect. Cool, that looks good. Let's make sure that's formatted. Where are we? That looks looks fine. I'm going to, just because of the way we're working, I actually have an SSH into my workstation. I'm going to do a bit of a fuller suite of tests. For tests. Sweet. So what I actually did there is I've written skip CI because I've currently got this up as a pull request, and I don't want Cloud Build to run it until I'm happy with it. I'm also up to date with master. Let's just make sure everything is fine. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, they've merged. I understand. So let's push that up. Why? Oh, I know why. It's fine. I'll force it. Let's git push force. First one was with lace, and this one's not. Okay, so that's there. That means now I can pull that down. Ah, come on, man. That's what you get for... Cool. All right. Now I can pull that down, and I just want to do... sorry, lint and go test. Yeah, I just want to do the full thing. So I'm going to do that. Because, you know, OBS is fun. I'm going to do that on my workstation that's actually at the office, because then I can use all the CPUs. And also it won't interrupt my stream, which is also nice by taking over my CPU. So I just want to see if... Make sure I didn't do anything I'm not supposed to do. And if that is good, then we'll squash it all up. And... Oop, something failed. No, oh, ugh, test go. Wish that wasn't in my history. I should probably get rid of it. There we go. It's not go test, it's test go. If that looks good, then I'll be super happy. That does look good. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Let's pop back over here. Let's do a GRBI against master, clean everything up. So now that looks all clean and fancy. And let's push that up. And we should see now. Yep. Okay. So that's kicking off. All right. So hopefully that all goes according to plan. How are we doing for time? Okay. We've been doing about 20 minutes. All right. So we can do some more stuff. Okay. So hopefully that all works and we're not going to have any more issues with it and it'll just pass and cross fingers. What I want to do next, actually, let's pop back here for a sec. Let's pop into issues. I want to pick up the ticket that I'm working on. Assign to me, please. Player tracking for each game server. There we go. Okay. I think I've got a pretty good handle on this stuff. What I was actually thinking, though, is it'd be good to have a... Do I want to do end-to-end tests on this now, or do I want to get all the stuff done for the SDKs and then write the end-to-end test? Question is, what do I want to work on next? So let's create a branch. Check out actually branches. Let's just do some quick. Git remote. P. Let's do some quick cleanup. That's a script I run like all the time. So git branch VVV spits out everything with like, I'll show you. Git branch -VVV gives you that. All right, and you can see some of actually you won't see it. The ones that have been deleted from upstream are now like this is gone. So I can grep gone, and then I pull the name of the branch out, and I just get rid of them. So it's just a handy little script for cleaning stuff up. Okay. Cool. What's next? Okay, so what I want to do is work out what I'm doing next. So you check out feature player capacity. Let's say just true. That's better. All right. And okay, so what do I want to work on next? I don't think I need to do is anywhere. Okay, so let's look at SDK server. Actually, let's look at a couple things. So here, there's local SDK. Yeah, I have a bunch of these floating around. So let's actually look at that. That's actually a really good one. Open a file window. Yeah, don't care about you right now. That's nice. Go away. That's a Terraform example I did for Google Cloud Game Servers recently that I don't actually worry about right now. It should probably be its own project. Anyway, let's have a look here. So should I do this as... Hey, oh, this is an interesting question. Okay, so I just did set player... Actually, what did I say in the... Almost just knocked my glass off the table! Next steps will implement the local SDK functionality conformance has to go with these two functions. Okay, so I wrote a note to myself telling me what I need to do next, which is good. All right, so next steps will be implement the local SDK functionality and conformance test to go with these two functions. Okay, so inside SDK server, I just wrote set player capacity. Now, here's an interesting question. What do I do? Okay, so inside set player capacity. Right. I probably should do the same thing. And I'm going to assume... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm going to assume that we... Let me have a look here. Package, command, SDK server, main.go. Here we go. We do main, we pause end flags. Okay, so basically it's all the same. And then we, somewhere in here, pause feature flags from env. Okay, cool. Which actually does all the feature flag. Okay, so we have access to feature flags here. So I think we can steal a couple of things. So we're doing set player capacity and get player capacity for local. Seems reasonable. All right, I have an idea on how we can do this. Let's have a look. So, set player capacity. Boom. And, all right. Yeah, that's fine. That's all imported. Beautiful. We'll probably want to look at that in a minute. All right, so if we're setting the player capacity, and I think we are storing in local, we have a game server, I believe. Default GS, that's fine. We have a GS here. Okay, cool. Because we do stuff when, let's have a look. Update states, ready, allocate, shutdown. Well, not health, set label, right? Like set label is a good example. We do that, we change some values, we record requested value, and we send an update. Okay, so that's actually worth, I'm just gonna copy that. So okay, so there's some fun stuff in here. So we have a mutex for being able to edit that underlying game server that we're keeping locally. We set some default values in case they don't exist. We've set the value that we're actually looking for. This here is saying, hey, like the game server object changed, so we have some watch SDK stuff that will pick up on that. So we're telling them, hey, that's changed, letting you know. Record requested value is saying that we can do, I assume that's some testing stuff. and then we return some stuff. So I'm actually just going to copy this because, man, that looks handy. I think this is totally legit, right? Like if that's failing, it just blows up. I'm just going to actually put it inside a code block so I can steal the bits that I want. All right, and we return empty error. Okay, so we can steal that. That's bam. Why are you complaining? You should not be complaining. Cannot use SDK empty type package SDK empty type agones.dev SDK alpha.empty. Oh, yeah, that's pretty legit. Yep, absolutely true. Okay, so all right, so we need a logris. We're gonna say setting player capacity, and it should be capacity. And we'll call it count. What else do I have in there? Anything special? No, just count. All right, cool. Nice. We're just gonna log it. Then we're gonna do that. And then we're okay. So here, if l.gs dot status dot here we get into something fun. Shit. Oops, sorry. Where do we store these values? I don't know. Because oh man. Okay, so here's the fun problem. Here's the fun problem. So the GS that is stored, the game server that we've stored, is an SDK game server, which has all this fun stuff in it. Right, and this comes from the generated code. Which is totally fine, except for the fact that it doesn't have any of the player stats stuff on it, because that's alpha. So we are charged with a couple of interesting problems. Okay, so this is something we started talking about previously too, right? So we can add new functionality. So we have a look here. So let me go into Proto, for example, right? I'll show you what I'm talking about. SDK to Proto. Okay, so if we have a look at the Proto file for the gRPC stuff, here's our game server, and it has a bunch of stuff on it, right? And we've basically just pulled out the things we think are important, like port, name, state, address, ports. Right, now we're adding this thing called player counts. Does that mean that we should add alpha values to this, which is not the alpha proto, right? So we have an alpha proto. It has our alpha functions on it. Or so we could. Or does it mean we end up with a game server definition in here that has the alpha functions on it? So, all right. So, and then if I'm inside this SDK, which version am I using? Because right now I'm storing an SDK game server, and I want to store the extra values. Where do they go? Ugh. Because I have the same problem, right? We have this watch and get player so we do get game server, which is this, right? And we have watch game server. And those are part of the stable SDK set. Cool. Um, and right, this is part of the right. And so, do we in the alpha SDK do we re-implement get game server within alpha game server, or we have this SDK watch games? What is that? Oh, it's some extra stuff within server stream stuff. Okay, got it. Or do we find? Okay, actually, you know what? Here is a thought. The way we're doing custom resource definitions. Let's go back to that. Right? And we had a long conversation about this, about custom resource definitions and how alpha attributes on custom resource definitions get defined. And what we ended up with, and I can actually show you, game servers. Right, I had this idea of maybe putting like a top level alpha thing, and then like that. One of my teammates, Punish, she found this great doc inside Kubernetes about how they manage it, and have a look here. So if we look for, actually we should put that on there too. I am in the wrong spot. If I look in, APIs, Agones, V1, gameserver.go, right? Let's have a look. See here. Here we go. So players is this player status, right? Like this is new. It has to be a pointer because it could be nil. So what I'm thinking is we could follow this pattern inside sdk.proto for the same thing. And we just need to be careful of if a breaking change happens, or like we end up changing the name or the format, that we graveyard this number here. So if you're familiar with gRPC, this number here indicates where in the protobuf basically this thing happens. So if you need to remove something or move it or change its name or something like that, you probably don't want to reuse the same number. Otherwise, bad things can happen, but essentially. So we could look at that. So what I'm wondering is, can we do an optional item inside this SDK proto? That's my theory. Yep, there goes my internet. And it's back. That's my theory. I don't know how realistic that is. Let's see. Okay. So let's actually, that's actually an interesting question. So proto 3 definitions. Protocol partitions, there we go. Yeah, that's not gives me the specification. That's kind of what I want. Import package. Options can be used in protofiles, numbers, and services. Option can be protofiles using option or custom option. Options in the language guide. This sounds like it might actually be useful. Individual declaration protocol will be annotated the number of options. Options do not change the real meaning of the declaration. That is not what I want at all. Okay. Field number, field rules. Repeated. Singular. Well-formed message can have 0 or 1 of this field, but not more than 1. And this is the default rule for... What if I don't want it at all? I would rather not have it, I guess. Message any lets you message with it. Any average size bytes. Yeah, that's not actually what I care about at all. One off? No. One offs are cool, but that's not what I want. Backward compatibility issues. Maps, packages, defining services, JSON options, JSON mapping. Creating a JSON, making it easier. Interesting. Okay. That's a whole other thing I don't care about right now. More options, custom options. Proto buff, nullable field. Is that a thing? Yeah, like how do I define an optional field? I think that every field might actually be optional. Student answers. In Pro 3, all fields are optional and that is not an error if the student fails to send them, but fields are no longer nullable in that there's no way to tell the difference between a field being explicitly set to a default value versus not being set at all. Okay. Okay, that's okay, but but I have an idea. So we could maybe I don't have an idea. So do I have an idea? Okay, let's have a look at my implementation. I want to have a look here. So let's say we have get game server. Yeah, s.gameserver. Boom, here. Game server lister. We get our game server. And that returns. Okay, so that's not what I want. This one here. Convert. Convert is the magic function. So when we convert it, we could do a feature flag check to see if it exists or not. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works, which, yeah. I think that's just the easiest way of doing it. Yeah. I actually really think it is. I don't see an easier way around it, actually. Yeah, no. I really don't. I think that's the winner. Okay. All right. That has some interesting implications. Okay, so in which case I want to take a different tack with what I'm working on next. I think I'm going to take a different approach. So do I care about anything that I've just written? No, I don't care about anything that I just wrote. No, I think I'm gonna dump this. Because what I want to actually do is write the code in here that adds the extra element and write the code in convert that does the conversion if it's enabled. And I think that's a good next PR. That's a nice, really like good chunk, like a solid little chunk of stuff. The other option is I just keep going with what I'm doing. And then pull that bit out a little bit later. But I don't know. I think that's actually a really good next step. Just because it'll put that in front of my reviewers so they can see what I'm doing and see whether this is a good idea or not. Yeah, I think that's the right way to go. SDK server. In the convert function, do I create... Yeah, where does that GS come from? Actually, that's a good point. GS gives me the current game server. Oh, I've converted to the SDK game server. Okay, got it. Okay. And I assume I use that. So if I'm watching, how does that work? I assume that's the same. Connect to streams, blah, blah, blah. All right. That's actually a really good question. Let me double check that too. So when I'm doing a watch, I'm going to have a thing that looks at Nope. There should be. Here we go. Update func. Send game server updates. Beautiful. So we get that. We have all we have streams. So I've got because multiple places could be connecting to the watch API. I don't want to do multiple watches. So I track a series of streams of basically channels that people can connect to. All right, so I do exactly the same conversion on the watch command as I do on the other one. Okay. Cool. Cool. In which case, yeah, I think this is the right way to go. Yeah, I think this is the right way to go. There's probably gonna be some discussion, but I think this is the right way to go. All right, so in which case, just trying to decide if I just want to get rid of this. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, all right, let's do that. None of that was anything particularly fancy. All right, so let's get rid of that, which means that in SDK.proto, we need to add some stuff. Let's have a look-see here. So we'll get rid of that. Game server. Beautiful. Let's actually pop that up on the right. Oops. Beautiful. We'll actually pop that close so I can see them side by side. So where are we? So status, ports, message port, state, address, port, state, ports, address. Okay, that's a different order, but fine. What do we got? Player message. Okay, so message players. Just gonna put the same thing there. And or player status, is that right? Player status. Okay. We'll match those names up. And we have count and capacity. What do we have? Is it just int 32s, or we can do both int 64s and int 32s? Okay, we'll do int 64s because that's the same as what I have in my Go code, so that makes sense. Int 64, everything is underscores. All right, cool. So count equals 1, int 64, capacity equals 2, and then we have yeah, I like having that at the top, that's fine. Also same thing, that there, which is player status. What do we call it? I assume we actually just call it players. Okay, we're just calling it players. All right, cool. Equals 4. Okay. So that's adding that to our thing. We will need to generate some code out of that. I'm going to do that on my workstation because I think it requires, I can't remember if I have all the things installed here. So git add -a and git commit. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. What do we call this? Work in progress. Update. Proto. Cool. Push that up. Oh, gbsup. gbsup is git push to origin and setting the upstream as the origin at the same time. Super fancy. Yeah. Hey. Let's try it again. Come on, internet. Come back. You can do it. I can literally see my internet getting like working, not working, working, not working, working, not working. It's very interesting. Yeah, this is looking vaguely promising. Ah, come on. There we go. There we go. Internet's back. Yeah, just my downstream. I see my downstream drop. Very strange, but my upstream seems to be fine. Cool. Very odd. But that's okay. We're still good. All right, so that's now up. I'm just going to pop over to my workstation. Check out feature, player capacity. I probably should call it something better than just 2, but you know. What you going to do? All right, make gen all SDK gRPC. And that's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. Whee! This is why I'm doing it on another machine. So that's going to actually, yeah, this is actually a good one to do individually, just because it is going to touch a ton of stuff. Ooh, we actually just pushed in a C# SDK, and whatchamacallit, and that is now running. Command is running to populate your local package cache. Oh, fun. That's all right. This is why we do this on my workstation at work. Because it has a super nice internet connection and it has way more cores than my laptop. So while that's running in the background, and we'll pull that up in a sec, let's have a look at this convert function that we were talking about. Okay, so we can see here we let all the ports, like we do all that kind of work. Ooh, that failed. Rootgen.sh is your env bash r, no such file or directory. There's a bug. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Let me make sure I'm in the right tmux. What's going on here? Thank you. Oops, I made too many. Yep, I made way too many. Yep, and my internet down is like awful. Come on, internet, you can come back. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look-see. When I want to, what do I want to do here? And I want to, I'm looking at the build. No, sorry, my bad. Examples. Now, what am I doing? Oh my god, No, I'm being very silly today. City build and fine. I'll look at it here. It's gonna be easier. Build, ballistic images, C#, gen. User bash user. Yeah, something's gone wrong there. in bash. No such file directory. What is the Docker file? Docker file is Agones build latest, which should be fine. Why does that not look right? Yeah, right? Like, that seems reasonable. What do the other ones look like? User bin env bash no such file directory. What do we do for the other ones? Build.sh. Literally the same. Oh, I should look in gen. Why is that failing? Gen.sh. User bin env bash slash. I wonder if it's. Oh. I wonder if it's. I wonder if it is. Like Windows. I wonder if they wrote this in Windows. Oops, not what I wanted. Yeah, I wonder if I've got I wonder if there's yeah, let's go here, it's gonna be easier. I think there's a /r here, not a /n. And I need to look at the internet. HelloJ switch /r/n. Consider existing file lines. Did this fail? Please don't tell me this failed. It failed. Why? All right, we'll come back to that in a second. And my internet does not want to let me stream today. Because reasons. Convert existing line endings. That's literally what I want. I wonder if I could have seen that in here we go. The files line uses the correct library character and saving the file. What? What is that? Configuring. Huh. Yep. That would do it. See here, if I go to gen, shouldn't be /r/f. Oh, actually, what do we have in like here? All right, so I think that's what I want. Yep, now it's gone back. Why has it gone back? Right. Should probably do all of them since I'm here. Yep. Yeah, right. Like this is fine. This it doesn't. Oh, really? Hmm. Um. I'll tell you what. Let's try it here. Can I view line numbers? Let's see. I should say Linux test. Yeah, I want to know what the Linux are. How do I know? Filter and interesting. Let's have a look at that. So, actually, yeah, give me a new tab. No, I'm back into build. CD build SDK images. CD C sharp. I don't have Dusty Unix. Oh, well, that's just irritating. Right. File gen.sh CRLF line terminators. Okay. And if I just look at like a regular one of our files, like file help.yaml. Yeah, so I don't want CRLF. CSDKs. I don't know. Pick a file. File tools.go. Huh. See if this works. We are learning things today about line endings and how they work. Yeah. Let that run in the background. Yeah, let me do secret stuff while I hide that. Oh, my internet's being weird again. I wonder if just Comcast is kind of overloaded. Come on, download. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Bring this back. Yep, wrong one. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Not examples. Build. Actually, I think I'm already in the right spot over here. Yeah. Yep. So if I DOS to Unix, oops, let's pull that in. DOS to Unix, gen.sh. Oops. And then I file gen.sh. That looks better. All right, so let's do all of them. Apparently they're all fine. Actually no. Git read. Just want to do the one that's failing because test seems. See, test is fine. That's interesting. Oh, sorry, ls. So if I do build out of curiosity, DOS to Unix, build.sh. Gen is the only one that's different. That's fascinating. Okay. So I'm just going to add that, push that up. More work in progress. Gen.sh changed from DOS to Unix line endings. Okay. Cool. A bunch of stuff did happen. You can actually see everything coming through here. But we're just actually going to reset this because we're going to run it all again anyway. Oops. Let's pull it all down. Let's get rid of that. Make gen. Okay, run that again. Beautiful. Okay, so now everything's changed there. Let's add that. Generated gRPC stubs. Bam. Git push. Cool. That's coming up my way. Now, why has this failed? It just, like, why? Why? Is it something regularly flaky? Or is it something else? Nope, tests failed again. What did you fail? What did you fail? Blah, 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 blah. Go tests look good. Okay, so that's fine. So what failed? Ooh. Hold on. CRD reference API. That's entirely my fault. I need to rerun a generation script and then it should pass. Oh my god. This is, yeah. Oh my god. I stupid. Stupid. Actually, yeah, let's do it on here. That's easy. Let me pull that down. I know exactly what the issue here is. Make gen API docs. We have some things in here to confirm that the correct, when changes have been made to some things, that things are generated further down. So like this is creating the documentation for the CRD API. I changed some comments on that, And that is what is going on. What did I change? I changed that on the actual CRD, didn't I? Package, SDK. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be changing that. Now that I think about it. Here we go. Optional. What was that previously? Git, compare with branch, master. Alpha, player checking feature flag. It says the same thing. Just makes it easy to find all this stuff. Yeah, I'm okay with this change. Do I need to make gen anything else? Actually, we can run the test to make test. Test gen API jocks. Everything else should be the same. Let's just make sure that's correct. Cool. Push that up. And that was definitely correct. Yeah, because there's master. All right, cool. That should hopefully now pass. That has been pushed up. Beautiful. So I can now pull that down on my end. And my downstream internet is not being flaky again. Comcast must be having all kinds of fun these days with the internet stuff. Okay, so if I look at SDK.proto, we have this player status. Excellent. If I'm going to get rid of that, what do I need to look at? If I want to look at package SDK, here you go, beautiful. This one. Just want to see. Here we go. What gets generated? Where are we? Here we go. Spec status. Perfect. Game server status. Here we go. We're back. If we have a look at game server status, we have this player status value, which can be nillable, so fine. That all seems okay. And then we have like count and capacity. All right, cool, cool, cool. Sweet. So, next magic trick. Ooh, I just want to check real quick. Not that. That should now be rerunning. Let's just make sure it is. No? Can I push up a new version? Player capacity. Yes, I did. What's going on? Ah, there it goes. Okay, good. Just making sure that's happening. That makes me happy. Okay. Convert. Convert is what we're looking at here. Okay. All right. If runtime feature enabled. Runtime.player, feature player tracking. What are we actually setting again? All right, so we're converting this game server into that one. All right, so if GS, actually, what's our it's good game server. What's our result? Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, let's come down here. Results dot status dot players equals, and that's a what? That's a game server status player status. Okay, game server status. Nope. Pop that back up. Game server status player status. Just fine. Now if what are we, gs dot status dot players does not equal nil, because that could be a thing. All right, I just want to make sure I keep up this defensive programming that we have everywhere else. Status dot players dot count equals gs dot status dot players dot count, and we'll just duplicate that real quick and say capacity and capacity. Seems legit. Yeah, I think that seems legit. And we can see that that's going to be we've got a few protofiles changing. So I'm just looking at the number of files that we're going to be editing and sending through in a PR, and that looks like, yeah, that looks like a good approach. Just like a good chunk of work to go through once it's ready. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, so let's make sure that I didn't break any tests. Let's just run the whole thing. Sweet. Nothing seems to be broken. Let's also make sure that my imports are nice, which they are. Get on my computer. Make sure all my imports are nicely sorted. Yep, beautiful. Import sorting is important. I just want people to know that. These things matter. Okay. That looks good. So we need to run, we want some tests for this. All right, go away, go away. Go away, go away, go away, go away. All right, test convert. We have a test convert. It's lovely. Trying to decide is I want to run a test with the fields turned on and with the fields turned off. And what is my best way of doing that? I could add extra tests. Not the end of the world. Drop that at the bottom. Or should I? I could turn this into a function and run two different versions of it. That could work. I've already got, oh, this is just a fixture. It's not like a table-driven test or anything. All right, cool. So actually on this test, what I will actually want is assert.nil tsdkgs.status.players. Right, that should be, where are we doing status stuff? Just want to have a quick look here. All right, that should be nil. Run test. Right, that should not change. I'm thinking we flip this into like a table-driven test or something like that. Because really this is the only difference. This is the only thing we care about. Do I go, let me think this through. Do I want to go full table-driven test, or would I just want something cheap and easy? I'm kind of thinking cheap and easy. Okay, I'll put that back in. Yep. Okay. Thinking. So what I'm doing is t.run run with feature flag. Now I want to explicitly have this string runtime dot feature player tracking plus disabled. That's actually nicer. And this will be enabled. Cool. Just making sure I don't have any meetings coming up that I need to attend. Ooh, I do have one in half an hour. That's all right. Okay. All right. So, my brain fell over. Runtime dot. Where's my mutex? Future test mutex dot lock defer. Runtime dot feature test mutex dot unlock. Right. So we don't want things to overlap each other. Runtime dot pause features blank. Right, so nothing. And string plus true. Okay. What I will need is this as like a function. Can I extract method? I can. Call it assert convert, except I actually don't want it like this. No, I don't like it. Sorry. Let's go back just a step. Because what I want is to pass in the fixture. And we'll take this out. Oh, I already have a lot of this work done. My bad. Look at this. I have a lot of this already. So with it disabled, like my fixture still looks like this. Actually, let's boom. It's gonna be a fixture like that. And we'll say here equals is fine as well. All right, so let's grab that. Disabled. Decay. All right, so equals needs to be in front. Yeah, look, I already did some good stuff. Feature.clone. Copy. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's a copy and not the real thing. Oops. F equals fixture.deep copy. And then we're just going to use F all the way through. Actually, I don't like F. F is yucky. Let's call it GS. Sweet. That looks pretty good. And I need to add an extra test, which I had copied, which was, sorry, no, here we go. Oops. There we go. I hadn't hit my clipboard yet. Okay, so if we run that, that should be looking okay. Compiling. And that passes. Beautiful. Okay. Oh. I really just want this part here. gs.status.players. That doesn't do a nice. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's a shame. Becomes player status. Capacity will say 10, and we'll say count of 5. That's fine too. That's fine too. We don't want that. What we want, assert equal gs.status. Should be t. My bad. Status.players. Capacity should be the same as, what do we, sdk.gs.status.players.capacity. And this should be then count and count. And everything else should be the same. All right, run that. Let's see how that goes. Lovely. Okay, that's looking really good. Compile the whole thing and run it. Beautiful. That's looking really nice. Okay. Let's do. Make sure that looks good. What time is it? I have meeting soon. All right. Commit convert function complete. I'm gonna push that up, and we'll test it on the big machine with all the big tests, and see if I broke anything. So, sorry, whoops, pull down. Beautiful. Make lint test go. See if there's anything I need to fix. Good. Making sure no one's trying to message me and say like, hey, what are you up to? Your thing's broken. Why did you swear on your stream? That kind of stuff. Whoop. That is a problem. SDK test.go. This is why we do this stuff. Pause features. What do we do? What does that actually return? That's actually a really good point. Let's have a look. Returns an error. Okay. Assert dot no error. T. And this is why we lint things. That looks much better. Run that again. See how that goes. Compiling. There we go, and that's running. All right, so let's add that. We're just gonna attach that and send that up, and we'll double check all those things are still working as well. But this feels like a good little chunk of work for a pull request. I keep falling into this habit of making these big pull requests, and I feel really bad about it, and I don't like doing it as much. That also slows everything down, and it means I don't get feedback as fast, so it's just not ideal. What do you mean up to date? My internet just wants to be stupid. There it goes. And that's up now. Now I can pull it down. There we go. Now run the same command again. See how that's doing. Well, while that's running in the background, let's have a look here. God, why are you still failing me? Clearly having a good day. I gotta have a look. I can't leave this thing sitting here. Why? Why? Okay. Tests are still failing. In what way? That all looks fine. HTML test is usually one that can sometimes be a little bit iffy. .NET tests look like they're fine. And then let me scroll down further. What are you doing? Why won't you let me scroll down further? What? There's nothing wrong here. What is going on? Expand that out. All right. Not that that really helped. Curl, node. For you, yada yada yada. Install a bunch of stuff. Some vulnerabilities, whatever. Okay, cool. Lots of node stuff that needs updating. There's always node stuff that needs updating. That all looks good. That all looks good. That all looks fine. Generating the site. That looks fine. That's kind of frustrating, but we can probably do some work to make that faster. Yep. Good for you. What's that? The file. Already exists. Is that what's failing? I think it might be. Run SDK command C#. There's a problem with the C# stuff. Development certificate. Short test. All right, I'm gonna retry it. But we might come back to that too. I'm not sure what's going on there. But it's not to do with this. And that was passing before? Alright, but we'll come back to that. Alright, let's actually have a look over here too. Oh man, I'm doing well here. File is not going ported. Yep. Okay. One more time. This time with feeling, not anger. This is looking better. There we go. If that all passes, then I'll be happy. And I can go find out whatever that new C# gRPC thing is. Okay, sweet. That looks good. Awesome. I am going to call it there. I actually need to go to a meeting in 10 minutes. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you don't follow me on Twitch, Mark Mandel. Yeah, that's what I am, Mark Mandel. This will go up on YouTube at some point at Mark S. Mandel. And follow me on Twitter at Neurotic as well, where I usually throw all the stuff that I'm working on and mention that I'm doing things. Cool. Hopefully the stream didn't die for you. My downstream internet was being really weird, and I think probably everyone's at home, so it's just being strange. I did make some tweaks yesterday to try and improve that. Maybe I'll try a couple of extra things. But yes, definitely like hit me up on Twitter if it was a problem. Hopefully it was all fine. Otherwise, have a wonderful time. I know we're all stuck at home and it sucks, but better to be here and doing the right things and all that kind of stuff. So wash your hands, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.